Fletcher, the 27-year big league umpire and crew chief, and Malachi Moore, who is a product of the Urban Youth Academy in Compton, California. This is his 5th big league season.
Solid.
Ball one on Jonathan India, who was down 0-2 leading off the game last night against Emerson Hancock, and ended up reaching with a double and scored on the Garcia 2-out hit. One ball, one strike.
Okay, you're seeing a little 96, 97. He's mid to upper 90s, no question. Tries to establish that first time through the order.
Grounded sharply to third, and Williamson, who had an excellent defensive game last night, makes a big play against the first hitter tonight.
Too bad for India. He was right on it. On the third pitch he saw, he scalded it. Top hand liner on the ground, 106 exit velo, but the kid reading up on him is really a solid third baseman. They like him a lot. He's got good range going back and coming in.
Up and in, ball one on Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby had 2 hits last night, and now he sits safely in 21 consecutive games on the road. That's one away from Hal McRae's team record. And we'll see what kind of swings the hitters get in the first couple of innings tonight with the cloud cover. We don't have that normal early inning glare with the pitcher and the hitters in the shadows and the backdrop in the bright sunlight. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's a good point. No question. Last couple of games it was bright. Very bright. So a couple sliders to Junior here. He's got him down on the count 1-2. He wants that straight fastball. Looks pretty straight. It gets on you in a hurry. He might go with a split finger here. Let's see.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Line, base hit right field. So he has tied Hal McRae with a 22-game road hitting streak. 1 on, 1 out.
Clean and beautiful. Okay? It's a single to right field on a pitch down the middle, but that's what your whole idea is. Look at him. Doesn't overstride. He just barely takes a step with his toe, and he holds his weight back and throws those hands. Keeps him inside of the baseball nicely. Good single. See if he feels runnerish. He stole him a bag yesterday.
He's got a big lead. And there he goes. Vinny shows bunt as a distraction, and Junior will swipe second base.
Love it. And that's the one you want to go on. An off-speed pitch. It's a breaking ball. Give him 23 on the season. Good jump. Nice finish. Talked about it yesterday in the pregame show about the running game that has been kind of non-existent the last month of June anyway. Get it back. Pressure defenses.
0-2 on Vinny Pasquantino.
There's the splitty. That's a good one. It breaks. It has a foot break to it down.
So Junior is the 3rd fastest in Major League history with 30 or more doubles, 20 or more stolen bases, and 10 or more home runs in the team's first 86 games. He had already accomplished that before the steal of second in this inning. And who would have had Chris Sabo on that list?
I was just going to say. I played against him a lot. He was a scrappy hardball player, though. He hustled, man. He was tough to defend. But he's not like Junior. Not too many are. See how he's Junior taking a peek to the outfield, looking where they're playing. Vinny to the opposite field of shade in the outfield. Pulling on the infield. On the right side.
Just inside, 2-2.
Look at, see, that'll tell you the bottom right here. You see 46 hits to right field. He's pulls for the most part. He's been going to the opposite field a little more regular.
Nice save by Garver.
He's in his 8th year now. I know. Remember when that Garver came in the league with the Twins? A few good years there. He's a good backup.
Still 3-2. Logan Gilbert took a no decision on Friday at Texas, going 5 1/3 innings. He has not gone 6 innings, at least 6 innings in his last 8 starts. Now Vinny hooks it deep into the right field corner and foul. And from our angle, it looked like it had a shot, but Vinny never left the box, and he knew right away that he was out in front.
Nice try, ma'am. One-handed. Good try.
And Vinny's on with a walk. So the Royals have a hard hit out, which required a diving play at third for an out, a line drive single, and now a walk. And there are 2 on for Michael Garcia.
He don't walk. He don't walk a lot. Look at that. Look at that. He's just got 8 walks and 45 2/3 coming into this one. I think Vinny scared him a little bit. Royals looking for a big hit early.
And Michael's aggressive on a first pitch fastball. Royals got a leadoff double in the first inning last night against Hancock and almost let it slip away until Michael bailed him out with a 2-out single to center field. Royals added 2 more in the second. At one point they had a 5-1 lead last night. Mariners made it 5-3 in the 5th. The Royals ended up winning 6-3. Young just made a move for second base, and Gilbert saw that out of the corner of his eye and didn't want to deliver a pitch with his second baseman out of position.
That's what I'm talking about when it comes to stealing bases, being active on the bases. You see Gilbert, he took his focus off the hitter and looked at Junior. Now, he better focus on the hitter. He's going to get him. Ooh, breaking ball. Got called. Looked like it flattened out some.
Two and 2. And that's 20 pitches for Gilbert.
Milk that pitch count. Battling. Compete. Captain's on deck licking his chops. He wants a shot at him.
Right down the middle, and he fouled it away.
He was ready for it, though. Good swing. You foul it back like that, you were right on it.
That stayed up, and it has popped up. Rosarena calls off Crawford and makes the play in left field. So that's a pitch that Garcia would like to have back, and Gilbert is fortunate that he got the second out. Gilbert went 7 innings on opening day and has not gone more than 5 2/3 innings over his last 8 starts, and he has been an innings eater in his first 3 years as a big leaguer, but that won't be the case this year, especially after spending 7 weeks on the injured list. 2 on, 2 out, and strike 1 on Salvi. One of just 4 pitchers over the past 3 years to throw at least 185 innings each year. Aaron Nola, Corbin Burns, who's out with Tommy John surgery, and Logan Webb. Salvi lines it into deep left field. Arozarena turns, and it hits the wall. Junior scores. Vinny goes to third, and Salvi drives in his 4th of the series.
47th ribby by the captain, and he's still in the driver's seat of their bus. That's right. Drive away, Salvi. Look at that high cheese, too, he jumped on. Can't sneak a piece of cheese by a hungry captain, that's for sure. Man, he's all over that. Arozarena had 2 chances, slim and none. Too bad he didn't get it higher. Would have been worth 3. But they'll take 1. See what Cag's got.
Now, Jack Caglione is 1 for his last 34. But last night, he had a walk. He had a line out to center. He had a line out to first. And those 2 plays required good plays. And he flied out to deep center field. And he hits that one off the end of the bat. And Moore is right there. So if he squares that up, who knows? But Gilbert escapes giving up just the 1 run in the top. And Noah Cameron gets ready for start number 10. And strike 1 on J.P. Crawford.
Good numbers. And Noah Cameron, I don't care who you are, young or old, when you toe that slab and you have a 1-run lead already, that sure is a bonus. It gives you a little incentive to go ahead and see what pitches are working for you in the first inning. That's when they find out what worked in the bullpen or what's going to work now. Deep ground ball, soft contact out. That's what he does. Take a look at his pitch arsenal. And all of them have a high percentage of strikeouts on them. You know, it's amazing. He's really good with all of them. He locates the force. He ran into a couple of really good teams that got him here recently, but that's going to happen in the big leagues. Consistency is what everybody strives for.
One and one on Julio Rodriguez. That is very impressive, that last number we just showed you. Someone in his first 9 big league starts. League is hitting 183 against him. And when we were showing you his season numbers, he's even better than that when the opponent has runners in scoring position. 2-2 on Rodriguez.
Yeah, I mean, 2 real nice averages there. I mean, numbers for, it's key for any starter.
And down goes Rodriguez. Got him with a changeup, 2 away.
Beautiful. All right. Defensively behind Cameron, Drew Waters. He's making his 24th start in left field, and he has 1 outfield assist. Looking for an outfielder to help drive the bus with Salvi, at least be a passenger. It's really quick from his glove to the fielder's glove. He's just behind Andy Rodriguez of the Pirates at 1.87 pop time.
And now 0-2 on a Rosarena. He is 4 for 8 with 3 home runs and 5 RBIs in the series. Very close. Still 1-2. Rosarena has had 4 consecutive multi-hit games. Two balls, 2 strikes. He can hit for power. He also helps with his legs. He has 4 consecutive 20-20 seasons, and he's on his way to another one. Grounded sharply up the middle. Junior gets a glove on it and couldn't get a grip, and likely didn't have a shot to get a Rosarena, but still showcases his range. And now Rosarena is 5 for 9 in the series.
Yep. Hey, look, Junior, had he got it cleanly and got to his feet with his arm, it might have been close. Not going to credit a Rosarena for his base hit.
Donovan Solano bats cleanup. "37-year-old Donovan Solano." Two-0. And he's driven in 13 over his last 11 games. He is 1 for 5 with a walk in this series. 2 balls, 1 strike. Royals bullpen last night, twice a reliever came in the middle of an inning and got a ground ball double play. Angel Serpa got one against Solano last night. India backhands and flips to Junior, and the Royals force out a Rosarena. Noah Cameron has a scoreless first inning, and the Royals Drew Waters, Freddie Fermin, and Kyle Isbell are coming up. Gilbert had a 25-pitch first inning. 0-2 on Waters. Three pitches, and down goes Waters, and that's Gilbert's first.
Yeah, Waters, he's had a little bit of success off of him. He was 3 for 6 with a homer before that at bat right there. That split finger's pretty good pitch.
And Freddie Fermin bats for the first time in the series.
Check out the split finger. Better up here than down there trying to hit it. Okay, opponent's only hitting 104. You see the strikeouts and the strikeout rate of it. Whiff rate. How about swinging and missing? So get that straight one, just like Freddie almost did there. Straight one's a little easier to hit.
There's a splitter down and in, 2-1. Back our way and just below. 2-2 on Freddie. That stayed up, and it's pulled foul.
They'll check that bat for a hairline fracture. See, they go down there. They grab the barrel in, and they tap the knob end on the ground, and you can hear if it's broken or not.
Still 2-2. When Freddie Fermin gets into the batter's box, he looks like a boxer getting into the ring. He is intense. Checks his gloves, fastens his batting gloves, fastens the elbow pad. That's not a pitch he wants to go after against Gilbert. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Yeah, rushed him. Those ones up and in like that, they kind of, there's a little shock value to that pitch. It looks coming at you like you could hit it and you can't. You get a lot of swing and misses on those.
Kyle Isbell was able to check his swing. He drove in one of the Royals' runs last night with a fielder's choice, getting a runner in from third base with less than 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Royals finished with 6 runs last night and about as balanced on offense as you can get. 8 of the 9 Royals had at least a run or an RBI. All 9 of the starters reached. John Rave had a base hit. He did not have an RBI or a run score, but the other 8 did. And typically when you're saying that about a lineup, the team scored 8 or 9 or 10 runs. But the Royals were able to spread out all of that offense with 6 runs last night. Two and two on Isbell. And now Gilbert is about to throw his 40th pitch in 2 innings.
Great. Royals is doing a great job with that. Milking his pitch count. So good. Get into that pin early.
3-2.
Okay, you'd expect first time through the order that 3-2 is a fastball count, that you would get one. Second, third time through, when they've seen you enough, that sometimes they'll put a wrinkle on the 3-2 pitch. But this is a fastball pitch coming here. Jump on it.
Slider.
Yeah. Okay, went soft.
Jonathan India is on deck.
Izzy is just 1 for 7 in his career off of Gilbert.
Another foul ball.
Eighth pitch coming. Look, if they're doing anything, they're taking care of his pitch count. Battle, get on base here.
And a fastball at the knees is a called third strike. So it took a while, but Gilbert ends up striking out the side.
But talking to outfield coach Damon Hollins about him, and he really praised the work ethic, said that he said, I don't want to say surprised, but very impressed with how well he has taken to it this quickly. Of course, there's going to be a learning curve quick out there, and that's going to be part of it. But just some of the impressive plays that he's made, whether it be last night or the going over the wall in Texas, he said they've really been focused on the footwork, the pre-pitch timing, getting in sync with the pitcher, and then the rest is just reaction and athleticism. He said he's gaining confidence with every inning that he's playing. That helps him when he's not necessarily struggling at the plate. He's been able to separate those two. And one thing that he said about a young guy that's just 22 years old, he said he's one of those guys that's always one of the first ones to get here, eager, wants to work nonstop. He said, if anything, the challenge, and this is a good challenge to have, is to get him to back off a little bit. And Freddie, he could do that one in his sleep. Get him to back off. It's a lot harder to get guys to work harder than it is to back them off. Nice problem to have, guys.
Better believe it. But I'll tell you what, Joel, he looks really good out there in right field and at first base. He's not going to have any issues. Just work on shortening up his swing a little bit, putting the ball in play and getting some hits, and he'll be a productive Royal, no question. But the firm dog took total control of that play there. I love that. He got Cameron off of that, come in, pick it up off the ground, get that out. Nice work, 2 down. You know, it was interesting at Park or at Pikes Peak, whatever the place we went with all the fish. Cameron was most concerned about not smelling like fish. He goes, "Oh, I'm worried we're going to smell like fish and take it all home." I go, "No, they got something for you there. They'll put a little cover on. You don't worry about that." And Tolbert ended up getting slapped by the fish and had some scales on his chin.
Saw that.
We were laughing. We were cracking up. It was fun. Those guys, had never been there before. Of course, they're brand new on the block.
2-2 on Dylan Moore.
Pikes Market. Was that right? Is that how they say it?
Pikes Place Market.
Thank you.
Down goes Moore. And down go the Mariners. 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. There you go. Jonathan India, Royals leadoff hitter, leads off another inning. And he opened the game with a hard ground ball to the left side and was ripped off on a diving play by Williamson, who made 3 good plays in the game last night. 1 ball, 1 strike. Royals went on to score a run anyway in that inning. Bobby Witt Jr. scored on Salvador Perez single. 1-2. This is Jonathan India's best month, July, over his career. And he had a nice warm-up at the end of June with 7 hits over his previous 4 games and 5 runs scored. 1 ball, 2 strikes. By far, his highest OPS in any single month is July. For a kid who grew up in Florida and went to college in Florida, the heat doesn't bother him this time of year. He's still adjusting to a completely different home ballpark, however.
And there is some adjustments. Early in the season, his first couple of months, he was hitting some balls in the air that looked good. It would have been out in the ballpark he played in last year. But not at Kauffman.
Back to the middle. Gilbert goes down. And Young throws out India. Gilbert went down trying to avoid that line drive.
How about the old chuck and duck? Watch out. Yeah. Hitters like that. I'll tell you the truth. Look, once in a while that pitcher lets the ball go and drills him in the ribs, but I never minded his shot back up the box. And that's a good try, but he had him played just right.
Bobby lined a single into right field in the first inning, and then on the next pitch to Vinny Pasquantino, he stole second, and with 2 outs, Salvi got him home with a long single to left field. 2-0. And that makes Bobby 6 out of 12 against Gilbert with a home run. And home runs have been a problem for Logan Gilbert since coming back from the injured list. That is low. 3 balls, no strikes. Reno, 3-1. He looks like he's grinding out there.
Yeah, looks like it's not coming easy to him tonight, which is good.
Three-one slider.
Yeah, Junior was out in front of that just a tad. He was looking for the fastball.
Logan Gilbert gave up a total of 3 home runs in his first 6 starts, then to the injured list, and 5 over his last 3. And his ERA is about 6 over his last 3. Out over the plate and pulled foul. We were telling you, going back to the first game of the series, the Mariners had an excellent starting rotation last year. They had the best starters ERA in the major leagues, right in front of the Royals in the American League, but 3 of their starters, including Gilbert, have been on the injured list. There's another foul ball. George Kirby, who was excellent here on Monday night, giving up just 1 run over 6 innings. He had some right shoulder problems. And Bryce Miller, another young starter and high-round draft pick, is on the injured list right now. And currently, the Mariners' starting rotation has been very average.
And look at him going to work on that pitch count, man. Just wearing him out. Fouling balls off left and right. Really nice. Good approaches here.
Bobby's been one of the best all year, hitting with 2 strikes. Got his first hit with 2 strikes. And that is inside for ball 4.
Ooh, yes. When that at-bat, that really chaps the pitcher. You can tell he's a little frustrated. Hey, there they are, the 2 strike hits. Right on it. Look at for pass squatch. Yeah. Runner can't hurt you, the hitter can.
not running. And a slider's in there. 0-1 on Vinny, who took a walk in the first inning. Came very close to hitting a home run in that at-bat. Hooking it just outside the right field foul pole. Yeah, that is blasted to right field again. He hit that one harder and he hit it farther, but it's foul.
Man. Yeah, just a little bit too far out in front.
One and two. And now Gilbert is up over 60 pitches. So the Royals continue to work him to at least 20 pitches per inning average. 24 in the first, 19 in the second, 18 in this inning, and this is just his third batter. And he gets a strikeout with the splitter. That is his fourth.
Talked about that pitch at the beginning of the show and how he'll use it to strike guys out, and that's in place of a really good changeup. Has similar action to it.
Michael Garcia. Outside for ball one. Michael flied out to left field in the first inning with 2 on, 1 out. And Gilbert made a mistake and left a slider right out over the plate and was able to get a fly ball for out number 2, but Salvi picked him up with an RBI single. High strike with a slider, 1-1. Into right field and right at Moore. And that's the inning. To the bottom of the third with the Royals leading. And they pick a spot where they want to go watch the Royals on the road, and they were on the field during batting practice today and talking with the players. Williamson lines it to left, and Waters is there for the out.
Yeah, it's always great to see Royals fans on the road. And these guys here, very familiar, love the team. It's good to catch up with them. Sit down there by the dugout.
Cole Young takes very high, ball one. 21-year-old rookie second baseman Cole Young. 1 ball, 1 strike. It was the Mariners' first-round pick in 22 out of high school in the Pittsburgh area, Wexford, Pennsylvania. Great spot. 2-2.
Can't touch that one. Young man, wow.
21 years old.
How about that? I was still in Double-A at that age. Just trying to figure out who I was. But, these young players nowadays are much more knowledgeable and more advanced because most of them just played only baseball-only sports. They didn't play all the sports, so they're a lot further advanced. Nice. That kid didn't know what to do on that swing. Good job, Cameron. Third punch out on the evening here. Watch his slider. It's hard trying to hit that ball going away from you. He had 2 chances, slim and none. Look at that swing. That's underwater swing.
Good swing and a foul ball by J.P. Crawford. He grounded out in the first inning. Royals pitchers had another scoreless first inning tonight. One and one. Crawford and Michael Garcia have a lot of similarities. Infielders, shortstops. That's Michael's natural position. They both had down years last year. Both have bounced back nicely this year. Good hitters, but also guys that you want to get on base because they can run. And they are second and third in the major leagues this year with the largest increase in on-base percentage. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crawford had his worst big league season last year. Lowest batting average, lowest OPS, highest strikeout rate. And that's inside the line. Waters plays it off the side wall. Crawford got a good turn around first base, and he'll have a 2-out double.
Four-seam fastball. Look at that. Whole side's wide open. Run for days. Now, Waters at the last minute made a good adjustment, but you just don't know what that kick's going to do off the wall.
Julio Rodriguez with a runner in scoring position. Cameron struck him out with a changeup first time up. Popped up. Jonathan India makes a 2-hand grab, and that's 3 scoreless innings for Noah Cameron, pitching with a 1-0 lead. A Salvador Perez 2-out RBI single. And now Salvi bounces it to third. And Williamson throws him out. And Gilbert needs more of that. That's 66 pitches in 3 innings plus 1 batter for someone who has really struggled to give the Mariners some innings this year. We were telling you, he has not gone more than 5 2/3 innings in his last 8 starts. Jack Caglione with 1 down. And I would imagine he is getting tired of seeing that pitch right there. Sliders down and in, fastballs in. And he took that pitch like he knew it was coming.
Yep.
Backdoor slider, 1-1.
Okay, the report on him in the minors was he could get those backdoor sliders because of his long arms and the reach he has. But I haven't seen him do it at this level.
One and two, and that was down and out of the strike zone. Two and two. It's a very fine line for a young hitter in the big leagues when they're getting pitched a certain way over and over again and making outs. It's a fine line between figuring out how to hit that pitch and figuring out how to stop swinging at that pitch. Gilbert strikes him out with a splitter, and that's 5 for the Mariners right-hander.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure he'll get enough reps up here the rest of the season to figure some of that stuff out.
And I'm wondering how many of the outs he's made on ground balls back to the mound or the right side were actual strikes that he was putting in play.
Yeah.
So you can take the approach of, man, keep getting me out with that pitch. I got to figure out how to hit it. Or they keep getting me out with that pitch. I got to stop swinging at it.
Yeah, that's the key there, and that would be the best scenario there. Take it, because the pitcher wants you to swing at balls off the plate like that. You can't get the good barrel on it.
Gilbert struck out Waters on 3 pitches in the second inning and put him away with a slider. So you know that's in the back of his mind right now at the count 0-2. So does he go to a splitter again here or a fastball up? It's a splitter away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Laid off it. That was the pitch that struck him out first time up. And now Gilbert's at 75 pitches in 3 2/3 innings. Three and two. Waters is down on a slider. So that's 6 strikeouts for Logan Gilbert, but the Royals lead 1-0.
With Tampa, and you knew the closeness just by the way that he answered the question after the 2-home-run night the other night by Arozarena by referring to him simply as Randy. And anytime he's been asked about him, he has used the first name Randy. I know that seems kind of obvious, but usually you don't refer to a player by first name or even a nickname. You just refer to the guy on the other team. But they're close, and he said of Arozarena, he said, Randy is extremely competitive, very hard on himself when things don't go well, but he's humble, a strong family man, never wants to come out of the game, always works hard behind the scenes. So I think, we see this guy that has some of the antics and the celebrations, and the fans love the arms crossed, and Q saying he loves the arms crossed, just doesn't like seeing it against the Royals because he's been playing so well. But he said he has an authentic energy that fans connect with, and connected with that too.
Not quite enough.
Good. That's a great way to not interrupt the story, by the way. But, I didn't see it, but I was told that he came over to the Royals dugout the other day just to give Q a hug. Q said, I've never had another player come over and do that from the other side. But nothing but just great appreciation for Arozarena, and I suppose at the moment, a little bit of relief.
Well, he was with the Cardinals, and they gave him up for a minor league player, Edgardo Rodriguez, and Matthew Liberatore, who is still with St. Louis. And as Joel said, wherever he goes, and I'm only talking 2 teams now because he wasn't with the Cardinals for very long, but he had a great connection with the fans in Tampa Bay. Randy Land, remember, and they all had those bright yellow shirts on in the outfield, and he'd do the folding of the arms for them, and they would do it back to him, and they're already calling it Randy Land here in Seattle.
Yeah, when you have a player like that, you want to be able to market him, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what this business is all about. Plays hard, doesn't have any hot dog in him. I like what he does. It's fun. It's kind of like along the lines of Sammy Sosa taking the field in Chicago when he would run out there and sprint and all the way around the corner and salute the fans and all that. He's a showman. This is a show.
Solano fouled that off of his foot. Vinny reaches over the railing and makes a great play. And he had no time to get over and find the railing and set himself.
Yeah, not a big look there, but he looked up, and after that second look there, third look, then it was right on him. Nice job. Way to stay with it. Always good timing. And you can catch a foul ball and get somebody off the field. And then we've seen how some guys drop those and miss those, and the next pitch hits a homer. Important to play good defense, not just for Cameron, but all of them.
1-1 on Polanco. Good changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Noah's given up just a couple of 2-out hits. A 2-out infield single to Arozarena in the first, and a 2-out double to Crawford in the third. Two and two. Change up away. And And Cameron has 4 strikeouts in 4 scoreless innings. And you can get your tickets at Royals.com/Diamond of Dreams. 1-0 Royals on a 2-out RBI single by Salvador Perez in the first inning. 0-2 on Freddie Fermin, who had a long at-bat against Gilbert in the second inning and struck out. This will be Gilbert's 80th pitch, and some members of the Mariners bullpen are aware of that and anticipating a call, and got a couple of guys standing up and stretching out their arms. Going through their warm-up routine in the event that the phone rings. Still 1-2.
It just seems to me like Gilbert's really doing a nice job of keeping us off balance. You know, he's throwing so many pitches, but, you know, he's got a bunch, that curve and slider, his split finger, his fastball. He's mixing them pretty well. Keeping them off it.
Up the middle and beyond Crawford's reach. Freddie is 1 for 2. And the Royals have their leadoff man on for the first time.
He stayed on top of it nicely. Got some top spin on that ball, and whenever you do that, it picks up speed. 1, 2, 3 hops, and it's by him. Yeah. Spin on the baseball is amazing what it can do. Good and bad for an infielder. Isabella bunt if you'd let him. A split finger's a great one to do that on.
That looked more like he'd be bunting for a base hit.
Yeah, like to see him push it. Just push it between the third baseman and shortstop right there. That third baseman, he's crashing. Williamson crashes too hard. Push it by him. Easy base hit.
Isbell took a called third strike on a fastball in the second inning. One and one. And now back check in with Vance Wilson after Vance looked into the Royals dugout to get the sign from Matt Quatraro. Bunting. And the second baseman Young is over to cover. 3-4 for the out. And Fermin moves up to second base.
Yeah, you can give it to him. He'll take it. Look at it. He has great bunting position, good form. Barrel's always above the hands, and that directs the ball down on the ground. So that's a good weapon to have. Put him in scoring position. You got the top of your order coming up. The bottom of the order is really important. When you got all your run producers at the top, if they could set that table up.
And India's hit the ball hard twice against Gilbert. Grounded out to third to begin the game. That required a diving play at third by Williamson, and then India hit a line drive right by the mound in the third inning that ended up being a one-hopper to the second baseman Young. 2-0. Two and one. And so now they are going to work in the Mariners bullpen. Gilbert's coming up on 90 pitches. Two and two. Royals are 1 for 3 tonight with a runner in scoring position. And they have not had a runner in scoring position since the first. And India is down on strikes on a high curveball. And that's 7 strikeouts for Gilbert.
Raised the eye level, didn't work. India wasn't happy.
So with an open base and Bobby Witt Jr. coming up, pitching coach Pete Woodworth is out to talk strategy with Garver and Gilbert. And here's a message from your local Kansas City Honda dealers.
Now's the time.
And that's Bobby Witt Jr. at the plate. Number 2, he has singled and walked. And number 3, he is 6 for 12 against Gilbert.
Yeah, well, first base is open, but you don't want to put him on and face a left-handed power hitter unless you're going to bring in a lefty, and they got a lefty in the bullpen, Inspire. So we'll see what happens here. I would imagine they don't want to give him anything too good. Spire can come in and get past Quintino. Try to.
Two and 0. Well, who knows what the Mariners' plan is here, but it seems like when the plan is don't throw him a strike, pitch around him, see if you can get him a chase. Seems to me that backfires more than it works.
Yeah.
If you don't want to pitch to a guy, just put him on.
Right.
Got the corner, 2 balls, 1 strike. Sometimes in an attempt to be too careful by not throwing a strike, a pitcher's not convicted with their pitch. They'll make a mistake. 3 and 1.
Yeah.
just in case Freddie was going to steal third with 2 outs and the count 3-1 on Junior.
No, you can tell that there's some stuff going on in Logan's brain. He's not real sure. He doesn't want to make a mistake. He wants to try to keep the ball away, but be ready. Yeah. I don't think he
no interest at all in pitching to Bobby. And we'll see what Dan Wilson does here with Vinny Pasquantino coming up.
Yep. That's what that conversation was about. Don't give him anything to hit. We'll bring in the lefty to face the lefty. We're about done.
And it will be Gabe Spire. So a good spot for Vinny with 2 on, 2 out. And the Mariners making a pitching change in the 5th.
Did you see this? Bullpen coach slapped him on the chest and dropped his water. .45-7 strikeout to walk ratio, and he added that here on Monday night when he came on in the 7th inning and struck out the side, including a matchup with Vinny. Yeah, Vinny knows he's going to get his share of sliders there. He's low 90s is Gabe Spire. Low 90s with his fastball, slider, occasional changeups. He can catch one out over the middle.
Inside edge. Might just be the camera angle from behind home plate, and it's different in every ballpark. But before that pitch came in, does Vinny look like he's off the plate more than he normally is?
Yes, it does look like that, but it could be the angle. I'll ask him.
Like his front leg, his right leg, in his open stance, his heel is almost on the complete first base side of the batter's box. His heel's almost on that line. 1-2. We've grown accustomed to seeing hitters in the very back of the box with their back leg, but the front leg, Vinny's less than an inch away from the sideline. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he wants to come through here now. He looks like to me he wants to go to left field. Unless he gets a breaking ball that hangs in the middle half. He's only hitting 188 against southpaws with 1 home run. Just 2 doubles, so he's not an extra base hitter against lefties.
And Spire gets him again. So that's 8 strikeouts for Mariners pitchers. And Noah Cameron has 4 scoreless innings. He has only given up 2 hits, and both have been 2-out hits. Garver grounds it deep third. Maikel Garcia from foul territory throws wide. And Garver's going to be on with an infield single.
Garcia was good to get to it. But then, when all your momentum's going towards away from your target, it's really difficult to get the ball where you want it. But if it's an accurate throw, it might have been close.
Oh, and 1 on Dylan Moore, hitting just .219, and he struck out in the second inning. One and one. Hit hard and pulled foul, which is frustrating for someone like Dylan Moore, who's in a deep slump right now, and you hit a ball right on the nose like that. Been waiting to make some solid contact for a long time and just pulls it foul. And a curveball is checked in time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cameron has struck out 4. Three and 2. Now you got to make sure you throw this guy a strike.
Yeah, man, you definitely don't want to mess around and let them get something going here with nobody out. Double them up. Roll a pair.
Struck him out.
Nice.
So Dylan Moore is 1 for his last 32 with 20 strikeouts.
Yeah, man, something's going wrong with him for sure, especially this pitch right down the middle. Man, oh man, that's 93. That's a great hitting speed. Hang with him. Hope you find yourself after tomorrow.
Ben Williamson has one of the few hard-hit balls tonight. He lined out to left field in the 3rd inning. Randy Arozarena lined out to deep left in the 4th inning. J.P. Crawford doubled to left. And other than that, it's been strikeouts and soft contact against Cameron. 2-0. Three and 0. Williamson takes a walk. So this is the first time the Mariners have had more than 1 runner in an inning. That's Cameron's first walk. And now he's going to have a chat with pitching coach Brian Sweeney. And here's a word from UMB Private Wealth.
Do I have a clear financial plan?
Am I saving enough for retirement?
So it's a quick visit. Cole Young struck out in the 3rd inning on a pitch that was way outside. So that would give you the impression that he's not reading the ball out of Camera's hand, at least in that at-bat. John Schreiber warms up. At two left-hand batters coming up, Young and then Crawford. And then a series of right-hand batters. Down and away, ball one.
Put him in the lane and roll him up.
Curveball's in there after Noah missed with 5 in a row. One and two.
Consistently hits that spot. There's no way he's going to hit it. Those are good pitches out there. But he's trying to pull it. He's not trying to go with it.
Struck him out with a breaking ball away first time up.
Yeah.
And he was tempted.
Yeah.
2-2. Three balls, two strikes.
Yeah, that's a good way to set up that breaking ball now on the outside part of the plate. A little chin music, nothing wrong with that.
Fisted to left field. And Waters makes the play. A pitch that is up and in like that makes the hitter uncomfortable. And while we're in Seattle, it reminds me of a great line that your buddy once said. And Mariners Hall of Famer, Baseball Hall of Famer, Randy Johnson. And I'm paraphrasing, but he said, "My job was to make the hitter feel uncomfortable at the plate and make sure that I maintain that relationship as long as we faced each other." So put a little fear into the hitter the first time he faced him, and then hope that feeling would always be in the back of the hitter's mind.
It worked on most guys, but it didn't me, I can tell you that. As I was his roommate, and I knew him before he became the big unit, and I knew him, so it was, I couldn't wait to face the guy. It was fun. We had a lot of battles, and we had a lot of fun, but yeah.
So you knew him when he was a little guy?
No, he was still big, but he wasn't famous yet. And it was fun bantering with him back and forth, so we became good friends. And then just happened to face him, had a lot of fun. But he was he was very intimidating. A lot of guys did not want to face him.
1-2 on Crawford.
Matter of fact, I saw a picture of him in the concourse. I took a picture and I sent it to him, and I said, "Give me a bat." He laughed.
Crawford has grounded out and doubled.
Hey, work your way through this. You're doing a nice job. Noah Cameron.
On the ground, up the middle, knocked down by India, and the ball rolls away from him, but he keeps it close enough for Garver to have to stay at third base.
Okay. Ooh, man, nice job by India. That's why you dive. You never know if you can knock it down. If it gets through cleanly, it's a tie game here, but took several steps. It was a slow burner through the infield, and just by doing that right there, that kept him from scoring. Now, Cameron's done for the evening.
Julio Rodriguez is coming up, and he is 0 for 2 against Noah Cameron, but with the bases loaded, Matt Quatrero wants the right-hander John Schreiber. Schreiber entered the game last night in the same spot. 2 outs in the 4th and got the final out, and then got an out in the 6th inning before he was replaced. And Rodriguez goes on the first pitch and hits a routine fly ball to center field.
Beautiful.
Inning over. So the Royals are out of the bottom of the 5th. The Mariners leave the bases loaded. The last 2 years with Seattle, and he's done well out of their bullpen. He has a little forearm issue right now. Colin Snyder made his big league debut with the Royals in 2022 and got the win. And a walk-off win in the first series of the season. See if this rings a bell. Bobby Witt Jr. made that great play at third base. He was falling over when he made a one-hop throw to Salvador Perez to get an out at the plate in the top of the 10th inning. And then Adalberto Mondesi won it in the bottom of the 10th inning. If you saw the replay, you would know what I was talking about.
No, I remember. I do remember that play. Couldn't give you details.
Well hit right field, but it stays in the park for more. Michael Garcia is 0 for 3.
Hey, it's time for the Miller Lite moment, and it was Salvador Perez, a captain again. We talked about him driving the bus yesterday, and he's back at it again, and love it. Fantastic. That was early, first inning. Knocked in his 47th run.
Oh and 2. One ball, 2 strikes on Salvi. Spire came on and got the final out of the 5th inning with a strikeout. And he gets another one. I found that Randy Johnson quote, Hud.
Yeah. When was that?
2005, so 20 years ago.
Wow.
I think it's important to let opposing hitters know their at-bat isn't going to be comfortable. And once you intimidate someone, it's important to develop and continue that relationship.
Was his tongue firmly planted in his cheek?
I don't think so. I think he was serious about that. I wrote that down.
Don't fall for that.
Years ago and found it in the archives. 0-2 on Caglione.
You know, it was fun. I had I think I had 28 at-bats against him. I loved every one of them. And you know, he's the only pitcher I ever talk smack to on the field.
Dave Spires looked like Randy Johnson this year.
Does.
A lot of strikeouts. He has struck out 3 of 4, and the Royals go down in order in the 6th. Off against John Schreiber. Schreiber came on in relief of Noah Cameron in the 5th inning. With the bases loaded and threw 1 pitch to Julio Rodriguez and got a fly ball to center field. And now it'll be Arozarena, followed by Luke Raley, who will be a pinch hitter.
Another good move by a Q. Matt Quatrero, the skipper. Worked. Tribe's sinker, slider, sweeper, changeup. Changeup's mainly to left-handed hitters.
Arozarena didn't like that. But with the pitch clock, you don't have as much time to pout as you used to. You got to get right back in there, or it'll be strike 3.
That's right. Good way to put it.
Two balls, 2 strikes. We were talking about your career matchups with Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
How much fun you had.
The big unit, it was a blast.
One of them was one of my favorite baseball highlights, whether I knew you or not. And it's timely that we're in Seattle because we've seen this many times. Randy Johnson.
Look at the look on his face, though.
And then you curtsy.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Randy Johnson.
I did, and I was using that body language as a sign to him, and I had to go to my manager and say, "Hey, Skip, sorry about that. That was personal. I didn't mean to, make anything about that." He goes, "I wondered what you were doing, huh?" And I was calling him a certain name because I told him to throw me a fastball, and he threw me a slider. And he has a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Why wouldn't you throw me a
deep center field. Randy Arozarena has just hit his 4th home run of this series.
Well, this sweeper got swept. 82 elevated. No chance for Isbell.
It's also his 5th consecutive multi-hit game. The only out he has made tonight was a line drive to deep left field in the 4th inning. And Brian Sweeney's out there after Rosarena salutes the police officer in the Mariners dugout. They're going to go over the scouting report with Luke Raley, who is pinch hitting for Donovan Solano. Called strike on Raley. He actually started the game last night and scored one of the Mariners' runs, and then Solano came in for him when Angel Serpa entered the game. 0-2 on Luke Raley. Had a play. But anyway, that Randy Johnson Rex Hudler matchup, and I can't get enough of that curtsy and what you were implying to Randy Johnson. Not many hitters would do that to Randy Johnson.
You see that look in his face though when you first showed it? That it could be intimidating. The guy throws 102 miles an hour on every pitch, and he's left-handed and he's 6'11".
But it's timely because Mariners manager Dan Wilson was the catcher.
Absolutely.
And he was part of the story, correct?
He was.
You were interacting with him.
This was a pinch hit off the bench late in the game. Okay, Dan Wilson's the catcher. And I fouled off the first 200-mile-an-hour fastball straight back. I was right on the unit, and Randy comes up to the home plate umpire to get a ball back, and he goes, slider, he tells me. And I said, throw me a belt-high fastball and see how far I hit it. Okay, he goes back to the mound. Dan Wilson heard me yell that at him. And I get in there, and he throws me the 93 slider on the black right
like
in the back.
He told you he was going
to. And he shook. That's what messed me up. He shook. Dan Wilson put fastball down. He heard me. He wants a heater? Give him one. It's not like you throw 93. So he shook and kept his word and threw me that slider that no one could hit. And
it's the only curtsy I've ever seen on a big league field during a game.
I don't know what got into me, but it was just personal, like I told the skipper. And so years later, I always wondered, good pitch. I wondered if Dan Wilson, what if Randy was just shaking to mess with me, and finally Dan Wilson said, no, I put fastball down. Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
Backhanded by Jonathan India. And Polanco is the second out. Look at this picture we dug out of the archives.
Oh, what's coming next? That's you on the phone. I didn't realize that you guys were Golden Gophers.
He was a junior and our team captain. I was a freshman, so we played 1 year together. He was a first-round pick of the Cincinnati Reds, actually.
Wow. Well, you said he was a guy.
He was a big leaguer in college. I mean, he had everything you'd want. Kind of a teammate, great teammate. I learned so much from him. He was forced to be my roommate because they were a little worried about the kid from Southern California. Mitch Garver pulls it into left field. That's his second hit. But Dan Wilson, even in college, knew when to be serious. He knew when to crack a joke. He handled his success well. He handled very little failure that he had well. And at least for me, no surprise that he had a 14-year big league career and now has a second career as a big league manager. Mariners just send up Dominic Canzone, a left-hand batter, so he's been officially announced into the game, and Matt Quatrero pops out. And Angel Serpa will come on to face Canzone with a runner at Dominic Canzone batting for Dylan Moore with a runner at first, 2 down, and Seattle has tied the game in this inning on a Randy Arozarena home run. And Angel Serpa gets the call on a pitch that looked a little bit outside.
Hard, sinking fastball, slider combination. I mean, mid to upper 90s. It can come right at you.
Check swing, played by Zerpa.
Oh, nice.
And that's in time to end the inning.
Wow. Good athleticism there.
Tied at 1 to the 7th.
for tickets.
This is Carlos Vargas on for the first time in the series in his first big league season. So those are his first 38 games after making his debut in early April. His Mariners debut in early April, I should say.
He's got a big arm. They all do. Mid to upper 90s.
Raley, who stays in the game for Solano after pinch hitting, goes to the bag. Waters is 0 for 3. Dominic Canzone, who pinch hit for Moore, stays in the game in right. Freddie Fermin is 1 for 2. He had a leadoff single in the 5th inning. .98.
Yeah, fastball, cutter, slider.
And now 99, and both pitches appear to be off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Freddie's had a couple of fastballs in on him. Does he stay inside or does he go away? Cutter at 96.
Yeah, he can rush it up there. Now, I have velocity 95 to 100. It's much easier to talk about than try to step in there and hit it. Freddie can.
In on his hands and pulled foul. That's a 1-out walk, and Freddie's on for a second time. Here's a message from Auto Owners Insurance.
Auto Owners thinks the more you protect, the more you should save.
Kyle Isbell has already bunted Freddie up to second base once tonight, but that was with nobody out in the 5th inning. Isbell, in situations like this one, has done a nice job of looking for a pitch that he can hit away. With the third baseman in and the shortstop deep and up the middle, there's a lot of room on that left side. Ooh, pitch caught the inside edge. That's a cutter at 97.
Yeah,
man,
that's pretty nasty.
There's a lot of area over there on the left side if he can get on top of one.
No question.
He's done that a lot more this year.
Yeah. I mean, we need to make something happen here, but it won't be easy with the ball darting in and out like that.
And now it's 1-2. Cutter's at 96. Two and two. For a guy with an arm like this, Vargas actually does not have a lot of strikeouts. He has far fewer strikeouts per innings pitched. And some of that might have to do with the cutter, which is designed not to be a swing and miss pitch. It's designed to be a miss the barrel pitch. And the greatest cutter that we've ever seen, Mariano Rivera, that one pitch got him to the Hall of Fame. He learned that pitch for the sole purpose of reducing his pitch count. He was a 97, 98 four-seam guy. Long counts, foul balls, and would throw a lot of pitches in one outing. And they tried to find a pitch that induced soft contact. And by accident, playing catch with the bullpen coach one day, all of a sudden the ball started coming out of his hand and turned his career around.
Yeah.
But that's what made him not only able to get all those saves, but pitch as much as he did, because he had so many saves under 9 pitches an inning. And that looked outside. I don't think that ever was a strike. And you can tell by Isbell's reaction, he did not like that call. And that was supposed to be inside. Garver was set up inside on Isbell.
Yeah, and Garver did a nice job, though, of framing that up, making that look better than it was. Gotta credit that catcher, Garver, for that.
So that's just 31 strikeouts in 42 innings. When you got a guy running it up there 96 to 99, you'd expect he'd have more strikeouts. Check swing and a full swing. Jansen Visconti is the umpire at first base. One and one. And that'll be in the lower seats. And now India is down on strikes, and both strikeouts for Vargas came with his slider. Stretch time in Seattle.
All the right words, words from your mouth, holding me tight, saying I'm all yours, but I'm feeling my gut. It doesn't feel right. I see in your eyes. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, 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 lie. Let's talk about your ex. Let's talk about your ex. Baby, I'm in 100%. We've been a year, but you struggle to keep pace. Done everything right. My heart is a mess. Now you need to talk. Tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, 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 lie. Let's talk about your ex. Let's talk about your ex. Tell me, are you really over her? Or am I gonna be the very next? I can feel your heart race to her name. I can take a lie, but I can take the rain. Let's talk about your ex. Let's talk about your ex.
In the first, Seattle scored in the sixth, and that's it. And there haven't been a ton of runners left on base. There have been very few great scoring opportunities. Angel Serpa got the last out of the sixth. And Williamson drives it into deep right center. That will be on the warning track and up against the top of the wall. And Williamson, for a moment, looked like he wanted 3. And he'll take a leadoff double.
Okay, Zerpa had a little fastball there right in the middle of the plate, and that's what's going to happen. You got to really be careful and locate that a little bit better so he can't get his barrel on it.
And now the Royals are preparing for a bunt.
Move the runner over however we can. Close game like this.
That pitch came in on him.
Yeah, and just stay with the fastball. That's what I'm saying. It's a very difficult pitch to bunt. You can do it, but you have to be really fine. Got to keep it off your barrel. The ball will jump. But he didn't have,
Young, sorry, Ed.
He didn't have good technique there.
He only has 1 sacrifice bunt this year.
Yeah.
Snap throw down to second base. And a lot of catchers will just do that on instinct. Runner at second. Batter shows bunt. That runner at second knows he has to get a good jump, and sometimes he'll be leaning the wrong way. And catchers just instinctively will throw down to second base.
Yeah, when the batter bunts through the ball. That's an easy pickoff target.
Back to Zerpa.
Yeah, get him.
The Royals should get an out on the bases, and they did not.
Man.
At least not for now.
Well, he hesitated first with this throw, and the runner Williamson was able to get his left hand in there. Okay, throw it now. Gave him too much of a head start. He got his hand in there. Too bad. Well, has a chance to get it out there. You got to get one badly. Now they're going to see what Crawford can do.
And now Crawford bunts foul.
You know, if you don't get your hands extended. Okay, here it is again. Look at that. He got it in there. He was just didn't give it up soon enough. You're trying to bunt, and your alligator arm in that bat, there's no way you can bunt a hard fastball like that. You got to get your hands out there.
Crawford has 4 bunts this year, and that bunt was almost a base hit. That was a beautiful bunt to the third base side. The Royals are fortunate to get an out. And Matt Quatrero comes out.
Good play by Mikey, getting it over there just in time for a step.
So Zerpa departs with runners at second and third and 1 out. And Steven Cruz comes in with Rodriguez and Arozarena coming up.
And a guy like this for a reason, hoping to blow it by him. 98 to 100.
That is off of Garcia's glove. And a run will score, and Seattle takes the lead.
Yeah, this is a do-or-die stab right here. Top spin, hard liner like that, infield in. That's, nothing he could do about that. It was a good try. It's a long hop, too. It wasn't a short hop. Very difficult play. So they're going to stay in double play position here for Rosarena, hoping that he hits a little ground ball to anybody on the infield. And he's looking to get up underneath one. The less than 2 outs, he wants a sac fly or better.
Well, Rosarena did not face Cruz last night. 0-1. And I thought Steven Cruz looked as good as he's ever looked last night. He got the Mariners in order with 1 strikeout, but I mean, he was throwing with velocity and location.
Well, there's slider and cutter to go along with that hard fastball. It's going to have to work there. That was a good location first pitch. He was on it.
1-1. Rosarena tonight has a single. He is lined out to deep left, and he is homered. That tied the game in the 6th. And he has 4 home runs in this 3-game series and 6 RBIs. A little bit low, and Freddie really wanted that. Center field. And that'll be deep enough for another run, and Seattle leads 3-1 on a Rosarena's 7th RBI of the series.
Okay, that's a cutter, but it's too meaty, and he was able to get up underneath it. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. Did Randy? He wanted to get underneath it, get that sacrifice fly home. Now the Royals are down 2.
And what would this inning look like if the Royals got the out at second base? After Williamson's double and Cole Young hit a one-hopper back to Zerpa, and Cole Williamson was on his way to third, but the throw was late back to second base. He was safe. Instead of 1 out and a runner at first, it was 2 on and nobody out. And a sac bunt and an RBI single and a sacrifice fly. Angel Zerpa's on the hook for these 2 runs. 1-1 on Rayleigh. Last night, Zerpa came on in the middle of the Mariners rally and got an inning-ending double play. And then in the next inning, he had trouble throwing strikes. He walked the first 2, and then Ursig came in and got a double play.
That's right. He picked him up.
Rayleigh is down on strikes. So the inning comes to an end, but the Royals do not get an out on the bases, and the Mariners make Brash finished off the Royals in the 9th inning on Monday in a non-save situation.
Yeah, he's pretty good, man. His numbers look solid. He's 94 to 98 with his fastball, slider, changeup, curve.
Bobby has singled, walked twice, stolen a base, and scored. 2-1. Two and two. Off the end of the bat, and he's on base for the 4th time.
Pretty beautiful swing there, man. That was nice. Breaking ball, knuckle curve is it's registered as, and that's in the territory where it's unhittable. So the fact he was leaning out over the plate, he had to have an idea that was coming. Great stroke, good bat path.
Up the middle and into right center field. Canzone was shallow and right, and on a base hit like that with Junior's speed, you almost expect him to end up going first to third, but Canzone was not deep. Vinny will come out for John Rave, and the Royals have 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, you know, Junior, he's smart. You know, you don't want to make the first or last out at third base. There's really no need to go. He's in scoring position right there. So no need to force the issue. He is a very smart baseball guy, and he knew better.
Here's a message from your Kansas City Toyota dealers.
Dear unbreakable spirit, you roam on paths called...
Two on, nobody out for Michael. He did not face Brash on Monday. And that was a fastball up and in, and he took a pretty good swipe at it. Tonight, he has flied out 3 times. Mariners just scored 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning to take the lead, and the Royals come back with 2 base runners. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Be a good time to put something together and come back. Haven't seen that a lot.
And there's the number to prove it. That's a statistic that you mostly hang on the pitching staff, that they had a lead and they weren't able to hold the lead, but that's not entirely fair. That also shows that your offense is not adding on in the later innings after they gain the lead.
I'm seeing more of that than anything against the pitching.
Michael hits it well, right center field. Both runners are going to tag. Rodriguez makes the catch on the track. Junior advances to third. Rave stays put at first.
Okay, nice situation here now. It's developing. First and third, you got a guy, John Rave, at first base. He can steal a base. You have a power hitter and the captain at the plate right here, and he does hit into double plays. So in order to stay away from that, move the runner, steal. You got to rip a bag off here.
And I think it's safe to assume at some point Salvi's going to get a slider down and away, which is a
for sure
good pitch to run on.
Great pitch to run on. So be ready. Go.
And Rave isn't, or Brash rather, isn't particularly quick to the plate. Salvi has an RBI tonight after driving in 3 last night. One and one. Salvi lines it to center field and down for an RBI. So it's a one-run game, and the tying runs at second base.
Let's check out the Polestar Electric moment. The captain once again picks on a high mistake. It was a fastball, or it looked like a little breaking ball up in the area here. They put a little wrinkle on it. And that ball was hit hard. Now, I would like